One of the things which PlayStation 5 has and Xbox doesn't have is the ability to play games using gyroscopic sensor. As you know, PlayStation 5 and 4 even have a gyroscopic sensor in all of its controllers. For example, in DualSense it has a gyroscopic controller, and you can play your games using gyro, right? The problem with Xbox, the controller is considered to be real good, but the problem is that it doesn't have any gyro. But there are a couple of ways to play gyro games, and we are not talking about many of them, but there was like one of them is just emulation of the right stick using Armor X Pro, like this device, but I don't like it because it's very not precise, right? And there is another way which I think it's very viable way to play it, and this is this bad boy. This controller actually supports gyroscopic controls, but this is more than that. This is actually a touchpad, and this is actually kind of acts when you connect to the system using USB dongle. It acts as a keyboard and mouse, and it also has gyro controls, right? What it gives me ability to play using gyro controls any game which supports keyboard and mouse. This includes, for example, likes this Halo Infinite, Call of Duty, even Bolt Gun, although the support is limited, or for example Quake 2. There are some more games, right? Fortnite. My favorite game, the game I play most of the time is DMZ. It's Call of Duty, actually, Modern Warfare 2, but you can play Warzone, Modern Warfare 3, and others. But let's see what this controller can do, okay? And how compatible this is. This is not only for Xbox, this will work on PlayStation 5 as well. The compatibility is actually over here, right? This controller is called IFYOO GTP01 Pro. This one is extra. Letter, I think it's typo, because you see in on the back it's called like that. Please don't confuse it with another controller which was the previous version, which is not wireless. This one has a USB-C port, right? And this one is totally wireless. There was another one which I tested, which actually looks like that, similar one, but it has a wire. It's not wireless, and its name was GTP01, but without Pro, and it doesn't have gyroscopic controls, right? Although looks very similar. So please don't be confused by this one. This guy is a keyboard and mouse. All these buttons are just keyboard buttons, and it has all these controls. This is actually, this stick is actually mapped to WASD keys, so it's not really an analogous stick. All these buttons just correspond to the buttons on the keyboard, right? For example, this is the mouse, left mouse, right mouse. This is E, whatever. At the back there is a couple of buttons as well. This is shift, space. This is function button, which actually is not really a button, it's just modifier for the buttons up here. So when you hold it, function button, it becomes T instead of B, right? And stuff like that. Enter instead of escape, yes. That's pretty much overview of this thing. It has a touch control and it's kind of clicky, right? Although overall quality of this thing can be better, you know. Anyway, I actually somehow started the game already with this. Okay, let's just go in. Let's just go in and start a training session. You see, this works as a mouse. You see the mouse. You can also use the touchpad, right? Let's go and zoom it out a little. Okay, so let's go to the academy. Weapon drills, and I take the AR, and I will explain you how all this works, right? I think this is very viable way of controlling games using gyro. Even it competes with a flick stick, and I will explain you why. Okay, so let's just look at this, how it actually goes. You see, it actually works like in the IFYOO, controlling this cursor and pitch, like you can control. So pretty much very natural way of aiming. As you see, I'm aiming like that, and I just can aim like very easy tracking. Very easy tracking, right? This button is, for example, for the reload. The only thing I would like to tell you, right, that these buttons are left mouse by default is mapped to shooting, not aim down sights, and this one is mapped to the shooting. There is obviously some problems with actual kind of usability of this device, yes, ergonomics, because this one was made to be a touchpad, not like a gyro control, right? But as you see here, like what I'm using the actual touchpad for is rough movements, like flicks, like almost like a flick stick, right? And gyro I'm using to actually aim. So for example, I can aim easily and track the target easily. But if I want to do a rough movements like that, I'm using a touchpad. Right, so the touchpad, I don't not necessary to break contact with it. You can actually keep contact, yeah, while you actually aiming, right? I will show you in more dynamics, but let me tell you about the actual controls settings, what you really need to do. So there is a separate sensitivity settings for touchpad and for gyro. And in game, this is also mapped to the mouse sensitivity, right? They all mapped to mouse sensitivity, but there's separate sensitivity for gyro and separate sensitivity for touchpad. So how you control, how you configure the sensitivity on board for gyro? You hold this button here, and if you press up, then it goes higher sensitivity, and if you press down, it goes lower sensitivity. There are 6 levels of sensitivity. First 3 levels is just linear turning, and then levels 4, 5, and 6 are almost like 1, 2, and 3, but they have acceleration. So for example, right now I'm at the level 1. There is no acceleration here. If I go 1 level up, just as well, no acceleration, but more sensitivity. Level 3 is like that, it's the best acceleration, again, best sensitivity, no acceleration. Then level 4 is less sensitivity, but there is acceleration, so if you move faster, then it goes faster, right? And then level 5 and 6. You actually have to configure according to your needs, but I would like to say that, for example, level 4, maybe at the moment I'm using it, it's kind of easy to control and easy to track, right? Same applies to the touchpad, but when you actually want to control touchpad sensitivity, you hold the same button, but you go right and left. So if you go to the right, it just gives you more sensitivity. Again, the same applies, the same rules apply for the acceleration and stuff. But it's good because you can separately configure your quick flicks, and you can make sensitivity of your touchpad a little bit independent. As you see, tracking is very easy to do. I'm literally tracking this guy all the time. So I'm kind of pleased with the precision of the movements over here, right? One thing of the actual problems with this device, kind of ergonomical issues, right? As you see over here, by some reason, the actual triggers over here are removed, and then there is like a buttons like that. And this is very hard to use actually, because there is a lot of false presses on this button. And I don't know why wouldn't they just keep it like over here, right? I know guys, the developers, if you're watching me, the developers of this device. I know what is your inspiration is, like Nintendo Switch, right? If you look at the buttons over here, they're kind of quite identical. But why not to have the same on the other side? I don't know, because it's quite hard. And you see over here, there is like a handle over here on this side, and it's quite easy to use. But on this side, it's not comfortable to, like your hand is under constant pressure. It's not very comfortable to actually hold it. Apart from that, there is like this back button I'm using for crouching, and this back button I'm using for jumping. It's quite useful, but I would say I would enjoy if it was like a handle over here and similar trigger on this side. And apart from that, this device kind of, that's why you really need to get used to it. And by default, shooting is for this button, right? Not this, but this button, because it's a left click, right? But I kind of always remap it to be like that, right? And we can actually, anyway, with all being just whatever I just say, you can easily kind of play and do whatever you want using this controller, but you need to get used to it. Okay, here's the training mode for Halo, right? And this again will be a good way to show you the controls and how I'm playing, right? So if I'm just going into the training mode over here, as you see, I'm using it as the touchpad as a flick stick, and I can easily turn 90 degrees or 180. Let's say there is a guy shooting me, switching weapons with this. This is mouse wheel, like I can switch the weapons like that. Reloading with R, jumping on the back, and crouching. Okay, now I need to get out. And crouching like that. Okay, I can do it. Slide as well. I can throw the grenades. Okay. As you see, it's not that hard to aim with this. I think I'm very pleased with the way it actually tracks my movements, and then I can quickly, as you see, turn around, and I can switch weapons, and I can jump. Okay, don't run. Yeah, not today, friend. As you see, this is quite playable. Of course, I'm playing versus bots, but what I want to do, guys, I want to show you maybe how I play various games, including Call of Duty and Fortnite and other games on Xbox using this device, right? But maybe in separate videos. For now, I would say the quick introduction to this device went well. Let me know which games you want to see, how to play and how to configure. But in my next plans is like DMZ, Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. Maybe I can show you as a bonus, we can just switch to the maybe sniper rifle, right? And see how the sniper rifle goes. There must be a sniper rifle. So, but the sniper rifle is as well very easy to use, actually.
A fitting commendation.
In this game, when they shoot you, you can't really aim down sights. Anyway, thanks for watching my video, and see you in the next videos, guys. Bye.